This storage system is impressive, not just because of its capacity, but because of how it integrates AI. What's up everybody, Corey with Freaky Tech Reviews here, and today we're taking a look at the DXP4800 Plus NAS system by Ugreen. So let's get started. Full disclosure, Ugreen did send this unit out for me to review, but they have no input on my thoughts or opinions on it. I'll start by explaining what a NAS system is and how this one functions. A NAS, or network attached storage device, provides a secure, expandable way to store data locally. So unlike cloud storage where files are stored on third-party servers, a NAS keeps everything on your own drives, giving you full control over your data. This means you don't have to worry about recurring cloud storage fees, no third-party access concerns, and faster speeds for large files like videos, backups, and work projects. The point of it is so it serves as a centralized storage hub for personal and professional use, which is ideal for content creators, photographers, small businesses, or families needing a shared, always available storage solution. Now, Ugreen offers several NAS models that function similarly, but today we're specifically looking at the DXP4800 Plus. I first saw it at CES back in January, so I was really excited to check it out in person. And a NAS would have actually been really useful during CES because instead of carrying hard drives to store footage, I could have uploaded everything directly onto my drives back home in Texas while I was in Las Vegas. Now there's a ton of NAS systems on the market, and even Ugreen has a ton of other options available, and each one is designed for different levels of users. In a little bit we'll talk about what makes Ugreen's different, but the DXP4800 Plus is the high performance model, which offers a 4-bay system that's capable of handling up to 112 terabytes of total storage. Compared to Ugreen's other NAS systems, the 4800 Plus stands out for its AI-driven features, faster data transfer rates, and additional RAID support for data redundancy. Lower-end models may only support 2 drives or have limited processing power, which makes the 4800 Plus a better choice for professionals or users managing large media libraries. And then obviously for the power users, you have 8-bay storage models and up, so Ugreen does a really good job of providing a ton of different options depending on what works best for you. Now, like I said, this NAS system has 4 hard drive slots and supports up to 112 terabytes of storage depending on the drives that you insert into it. In this video, I'll be using 4 3.5-inch 4 terabyte physical hard drives, but you can also use solid state drives or SSDs, including M.2s if you need to, and it comes with installation instructions included in the manual depending on the hard drive you're putting into it. That's one thing that I really like about Ugreen's NAS system, is that if you are using physical drives, then it's very simple and you don't need screws or a screwdriver. You just simply clamp the tray down onto the hard drive and it automatically puts the prongs into the screw holes holding your drive in place. Now, when choosing drives for your NAS, be sure that they are designed specifically for NAS usage, as not all hard drives perform in the same continuous operation that you will have in this type of system. Now, touching once more back on the max capacity of the 4800 Plus, 112 terabytes roughly equates to 39 million photos at about 3 megabytes per image, or 117 million documents, or 76,000 full HD movies at 1.5 gigabytes per film. So hopefully that gives you an idea of just how much storage capacity that actually is. So this makes a NAS system a great choice for offloading files from phones, tablets, or cloud storage, and eliminates the need to delete older files for space. Inside the box, you get the NAS system, documentation, 2 hard drive tray keys, a power adapter, 2 Cat7 Ethernet cables, 2 SSD silicone pads for thermal conduction, and a screwdriver with screws for 2.5-inch hard drive installation. The front panel has a power button, network and hard drive indicator lights, an SD card slot, both USB-C and USB-A ports, and on the back there's a magnetic dust filter for the intake fans, an HDMI port, multiple USB-A ports, a 2.5 gigabyte and 10 gigabyte Ethernet port, a reset hole, and the power input. Now, setting up the 4800 Plus is very straightforward with very user-friendly visuals to guide you. Like I said earlier, installing the hard drives is super simple just by sliding one side of the tray out, place your hard drive in, and lock it back in. You don't even need a screwdriver for this unless you're doing a 2.5-inch SSD or M.2 drives. One thing that's really nice is that after connecting to power and your network, there's no need for manual drive formatting or complex configurations. It's legitimately just plug and play for most users. Now, as far as performance and real-world testing, it's powered by a 12th gen 5-core Intel processor, so this NAS handles high-speed data transfers and multitasking fairly efficiently. It says that it can reach up to about 1250 megabits per second transfer speeds, meaning you can quickly move large files. For reference, transferring 1 terabyte at that rate should take around 20 minutes compared to hours with slower drives or cloud uploads. Now, in my testing, I transferred transferred about 250 gigabytes in 20 minutes, so which is not bad, although I am still optimizing my setup. Transfer speeds are going to vary greatly depending on the source drive. For example, SSD to SSD transfers are faster than physical hard drives to NAS, so I'm still working on making sure that mine can hit those top speeds, but I haven't seen it in person just yet. Now, one quick note is that I did set everything up with my Mac, and Mac users might find it a little bit easier to integrate the NAS into their Finder system rather than using Ugreen's file management software. I do love that software, and I'll talk more about it in just a little bit, but I kept having issues with access denied messages whenever I was transferring Final Cut projects, but when I did it by Finder instead of directly into Ugreen software, it seemed to work a lot better. Now here I want to showcase to you how much faster it can be to upload directly to your NAS instead of something like a cloud service. This is Google Drive that I'm using, and I uploaded a 62 gigabyte project folder that's giving me an estimated timeline of about 45 minutes to get this file to upload, and that's about standard for cloud uploads. However, if we take that same 62 gigabyte project folder and I move it directly through my Finder or folder system on Mac over to the NAS system, it cuts it down to about a little bit less than 10 minutes actually, which is so much better. And that's something that I really want to showcase to you, is that versus a cloud system, having your own localized storage is going to be so much better if you're transferring large file sizes, which as a content creator I'm constantly doing with 4K footage. Now, speaking of Ugreen software, I'm not going to do a full deep dive on everything that it can do, but it is a custom operating system designed to manage storage, backups, and network access on the 4800 Plus. It offers hybrid storage management with support for both hard drives and SSDs in flexible RAID configurations, along with an expanding app ecosystem that includes media streaming, data backup, and virtualization options. The software also enables secure remote access and file sharing with built-in cloud sync capabilities. And while the software shows promise, it's still evolving, with some users noting early bugs in a smaller app ecosystem compared to more established NAS brands, but it's still really cool to see what Ugreen has done with this thing. One of my favorite features of it is that I can create a shared folder that you can provide access to just one single person. So for instance, I could create a shared folder for my editor to access, and he could only look at that folder, not the rest of my files on that drive. So I really like this functionality. Now let's dive into what I think is one of the cooler pieces of this NAS system that I saw at CES, and that's going to be the AI-powered photo management and security. This standout feature uses NASSync's AI smart recognition, which automatically sorts photos by categories like people, pets, and locations. You can literally search with keywords like dog or beach and find images instantly. Unlike cloud-based AI sorting, this runs locally, which ensures complete privacy on your local storage network. I really like this feature because as you get into thousands and hundreds of thousands or even 39 million photographs like this system can handle, being able to search specifically what you're looking for based on just a key search term and the machine does it for you, I think that's a fantastic piece of technology that can help anybody, not just creators. Now, one thing I really like about this NAS system is how much security Ugreen actually put into it. The built-in security manager protects against leaks, hacking, and unauthorized access. Unlike a Google Drive or a Dropbox, everything stays local, reducing surveillance risks. And features include encrypted storage, automatic backups, and multi-layered authentication. So I really like how much emphasis Ugreen has put into making sure that whatever you put onto these drives is completely safe. Now let's talk about who the 4800 Plus is actually for. One of my favorite use cases for this is going to be home theater users managing a local movie or show library. Some people like to make a media hosting server and use a program like Plex, where you can put all of your movie files and access them anywhere on your network. Even if you're not actually on that network, you can access it from like really far away and be able to watch whatever you have on your drives. And what's cool about this is Ugreen actually has Jellyfin already built into the App Store for you to be able to do that. So not only does it have the ability to securely download these files, it also already has the media server connected into the App Store for you to be able to access them and watch them. The next use case is absolutely going to be someone like myself for content creation. Being able to share footage remotely, whether I'm traveling and I don't want to carry extra drives and I want to send it back to my servers, I can easily do that. Or like I said, if I need my editor to access my entire library in the last 2 years of this channel, he can easily go back and take a look at that footage without having to ask me to pull it for him. And so that kind of leads me into the next point of someone who might need this, is a professional who needs a secure and always accessible storage. Being able to just access all of your footage all the time is really, really handy. And then the last use case that I'll include is that if you really like being able to use AI to identify photos from your library, I think this is a really killer way to do that. This can be a business owner or a photographer who's organizing footage based on different photo shoots, or you could just have 15 years worth of photo data that you want to store and not lose, but you can easily access it whenever you need to. Now with that said, there's a lot of pros about this system, but there are some drawbacks as well, and the biggest one is going to be the initial cost. While it is actually pretty reasonable for a NAS setup, setting up a NAS requires an investment in storage drives, not just the system itself. While Ugreen does a great job of providing a budget option for the system itself, hard drives can actually get pretty expensive, especially if you're looking for the ones that are specifically for NAS systems. So the initial buy-in to a NAS setup is going to be what prevents most people from enjoying it. Another thing that I ran into recently that I don't like is how quickly advanced configurations can get really complex, which requires a lot of research to fix. At one point, it went beyond my capabilities of being able to file transfer and providing access, so I'm still working through that to see why my transfer speeds are not where they should be, but I was able to slightly kind of figure that out using ChatGPT, actually saying, hey, this model is having this problem, what can I do? And I actually found out that it was a lot of restrictions that I had on my Mac operating system, not the NAS system. So it's not knocking the NAS system, it's just saying that it can be kind of difficult to figure out if you're unfamiliar with it. But I have to say, I absolutely love this setup. As a content creator, this NAS system is an absolute game changer, and Ugreen software makes it accessible and easy to use even for beginners. Like I said, expanding the storage is not cheap, but neither is buying multiple external hard drives and trying to keep up with them and what has what on it. But a NAS consolidates multiple external drives into a single system that is then scalable. Plus, you can swap these drives out and put physical hard drives on the shelf, creating your own digital library that's actually got physical drives. So if you're considering a NAS upgrade, I think the 4800 Plus is a really solid option. Not everybody needs this one specifically. For my size channel, I think it's gonna give me at least the next 7 to 10 years of storage options because I film everything in 4K, but it's really nice to have this setup. Some people only need 2 bays, some need the 8 bay models. There's a lot of different offerings from Ugreen, and I'd love to know in the comments below what you think of a NAS setup and if you like Ugreens specifically. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and join the Freaky Tech family. We're growing like crazy this year, and I would love for you to be a part of this channel's growth. But thank you so much for spending some of your day with me. Again, I'm Corey with Freaky Tech Reviews. I'll see you next time. So real quick before you go, YouTube thinks that you might like this video or this video, so if you want to keep exploring the channel, then be sure to check those out. Have a good one.